Like, how are you dealing with the pressure that these people might want to come get you, man?
And when you look at the anti-Zionist movement right now, a lot of fakers are jumping in now. They didn't say shit on October 7th. They didn't do shit in the 80s, the 60s, the 70s. I didn't see them. I didn't see them in protests in 1980. But now it's fashionable. Okay? And what are they doing with these anti-Zionist protests? They're making it about just free Palestine. These same people who talk about just freeing Palestine, let's say Columbia University, they're afraid to walk into Harlem. Okay?
Exactly.
Right? And this was like this in 1984. When the anti-apartheid movements were taking place, there were three sets of people there. There were the people who believed apartheid was okay. Okay? There were people, the white liberal elites, who said, oh my God, it's so bad, they're killing black people in South Africa. And there was our movement on the MIT campus. We said, okay, it's fine you talk about South Africa. What about the segregation right here in the campus food service, where the poor whites and the poor blacks don't even have health care? We connected the movement right on campus of the oppression of the American working class to the oppression of the working people in South Africa. A lot of people, so many of these bougie kids, fine, you're talking about free Palestine, but you'll go work on Wall Street tomorrow. Right? You don't want to talk about the custodial workers at Columbia University. When you intersect that, then, the movement really has balls. And that's what they don't want. They don't want you interconnecting the movements that when it leads to tangible people for working people. So for example, in the Middle East right now, there are massive protests in Jordan, in Turkey, in Arab Emirates. And guess what? The Arab leaders who talk about, oh yeah, we're against Zionism, are now putting their own people in jail because they don't want those protests to go beyond talking about Palestine to saying, wait a minute, you're also fucking me over. You see? So as long as it's in a university campus and you're just talking about free Palestine or ceasefire now, by the way, many of those movements are run by liberal elites who also believe in climate change. So Jill Stein didn't say shit about the anti-Zionist stuff on October 7th. Now she's going and getting arrested, but she's all about promoting the climate change agenda. You see? This is how scummy these people are. They don't have a consistency. Our movement is consistent through and through. We don't believe in the climate change nonsense. We expose Zionism, and we say end the occupation of America. Right? Because we can do something here. Talking about something 10,000 miles away, that's interesting. But why don't we talk about ending the occupation right here? That's a very, very much more powerful position, because it means that you have to talk about working people's lives right here. So this is how these movements get taken over. You see, these movements gets taken over because people do movements that are in vogue at the time. And then they split people into left and right. Our movement is not about left or right. The Zionism issue, it's about ending the occupation of America. When it comes to pandemic, it's not about pro-vax or anti-vax. It's about boosting your immune system. You see, we're in a different world. We're talking about the real issue and the real solution. We're not going to allow them to put us into pro and anti camps. And that's what they want to do, the working people of this world. So we don't build a bottoms-up movement, and we don't have leaders like me leading those movements. You follow Booby fucking Kennedy, who's been sucking Zionist cock all his life. Right? So people have a choice now. The good thing is, Naz, people didn't have this choice. Now they can't say, oh, so now people have to decide, wow, Dr. Shiva's there. The movement for truth, freedom, health is there. Now it's, do I want to get off my ass? Right? They can't say we don't have a choice. You really do have a choice. You have a real choice.
When you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, I just want to say, thank God that we have you And to speak about the controlled opposition, they make us paranoid. And I just realized something about you. Everything you say is setting us free. And that's the huge difference. Again, if you want to see who controlled opposition is, if they're bringing you problems with no solutions and making you paranoid, they're not on your side. And I'm sitting here listening to you talk, and I'm like, man, I'm being set free. And I pray for you, Dr. Shiva. I have a really serious question, man, that just came up. It's going to be like a Jersey question because I lived in Jersey too for a little bit. Um, are you not like, how are you dealing with the pressure that these people might want to come get you, man?
Well, look, here's the deal, right? We have to start recognizing that I've been out there, okay? And what the elites have realized is, it's very powerful what they realize. In the old days, they just shot people like me, okay? Executed you, open fascism. And then when they started doing that in their second generation, they said, holy shit, we're creating martyrs. Steve Biko, Malcolm X, right? They don't want to do that.
You're more powerful dead, basically, when than you're alive,
Right.
right?
So then they realized, shit, they're going to create statues for these people. They'll have martyrs. So what they did a twofold thing. They have all the data on this, okay? What they did was, we're going to do this. We're going to create our martyrs. Martin Luther King. We're going to create our martyrs, the Kennedys, complete organized crime family. We're going to create Mahatma Gandhi. We're going to create fake martyrs. So then the masses will have the heroes that we tell them to have. We'll write the history books with scumbags. And they make the real heroes invisible. So now in my case, you look at my history from whenever, you can go look at my whole history. I've been fighting on the ground all day long because my oppression is connected to the collective oppression. I've reflected on that. I've had to fight that every day. I live in a neighborhood right here in Massachusetts, where in my own neighbors, you can still feel their racism, and they're all liberal white elites. And I'm going to be putting a big sign up there, brown lives do matter, but not to the liberal Zionist elites on my street. So I still have to fight wherever I am. It's not a theory for me, you say? But because I've been out there so long, Naz, the problem is a different one, right? That they have to make me invisible. So after I exposed all the stuff I did in 2020, 21, and then censors cut up, they put me back on Twitter. But go to Facebook. My followers have been 540,000 followers for 4 years. I do a post on Twitter when I first came, 20 million views back on, and now it's down to 10,000 views, okay, per day. How is that? So they put you in a digital cage. This is why I tell everyone, go get one of these bumper stickers, because this is how you get the word out. The future is offline. Use your cars, use your property, put up one of these things, get on the ground and help us get on the ballot. We must get on the ballot in all of these states. But this is an opportunity we're giving you. Go to Shiva for President. Help us get on the ballot. So now you can't whine. Every state we get on the ballot, it's a big, we're stabbing the swarm right in the heart. In Florida, we need volunteers. You know what they're doing? Booby Kennedy's bribing other parties. He's paying them money, and they're putting them on the ballot. He takes money from Zionist hoodlums, and he pays signature getters. These people don't work, man. Their whole life has been cheating, plagiarizing, cheating, plagiarizing, cheating, plagiarizing. They don't work hard. They don't do shit.
No.
They're crooks, end to end. So what they do is they don't do character. One is they do character assassination, and then they make you invisible. They don't even want to talk about me. It's too dangerous. They don't even want to create any controversy because they don't want the word Dr. Shiva out there. The problem they have, Naz, is that about 500 million people know about me because in 2020, 2021, we did the right thing. So they're sort of fucked right now.
No.
That's why I enjoy talking to independent people like you. And I'll do interviews. So anyone listening, want to do an interview and you want to ask intelligent questions, Great. Because Rogan and Fucker Carlson will dare not put me on. They will lose all their people to me. They'll realize, wait a minute, this is a real deal. They'll see the stark difference. Because if Fucker Carlson puts me on, I'm going to expose him. I'm not there to suck his balls off, right? Like Vivek the Snake, like Trump. I don't need him. We're independent. We're independent of Rogan. We're not there to say, oh, Joe, thank you so much for putting me on. No, Rogan, let's talk about why you didn't fucking put me on when it mattered in 2014 against Monsanto. Let's talk about why you concealed our lawsuit. That's what we would do. And we would make sure it's live, not pre-recorded, live. They don't want that. They want, so everyone here has an opportunity now, and you better fucking go do it. If you like what you're hearing, go get one of these bumper stickers. Go to truthfromhealth.com and become a warrior scholar. You have no choice. Either you stay seated watching videos all day, or you get off your butt. Go to Shiva for President. Collect signatures for us. We give you things to do so you can't bullshit yourself. So you don't get 80, 90 years old. Oh, well, you know, I could have done something. Why didn't I help Dr. Shiva? Things don't change because the world gets worse. Things change when people take action. The world will keep going into greater darkness, and it can keep going more and more into that. It's not suddenly it gets worse and things get better. That's a false thing. That's a false analysis.
Yeah, man, we don't want to hear any more excuses, because we do have dudes like Dr. Shiva now. So, you know, when you become president, man, I'm gonna know that everything that I've stood for all these years has not gone in vain. Dr. Shiva, what is truth, freedom, health? And from what I understand, there is no ends or ors or slashes in between. It goes together: truth, freedom, health.